Welcome back to Hannity. President-elect Donald Trump. He recently sat down for a joint interview with two major European newspapers where he slammed German Chancellor Angela Merkel for her open-door policy on refugees. Now, Trump told the papers, quote, "I think she made one very catastrophic mistake, and that was taking all of these illegals, taking all of the people from wherever they come from. And nobody even knows where they come from. So I think she made a catastrophic mistake, a very bad mistake." Now, Chancellor Merkel is reportedly waiting until Trump takes office to respond. But after a wave of deadly terror attacks in Europe, doesn't the president-elect have a good point? Joining us now, the author of the best-selling book, Defeating Jihad, The Winnable War, Fox News counterterrorism strategist, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. I think it's pretty transparent. We see the magnitude of how bad these decisions are, but in a broader sense, the Islamization of Europe, to me, is even worse because there's now a cultural divide. There really are no-go zones, for example, right?
Look, Sean, there's two issues here. Number one is the exploitation of the refugee streams by the jihadists. That's just a fact. We know that people with asylum-seeking status were part of the plots to attack Brussels. The second issue is the one you've mentioned. Yes, these areas where you have high concentrations of Muslim immigrants that aren't actually integrating to that given society. And the smoking gun in all of that is, do you remember the mastermind of the Paris attacks? He escapes the scene of the crime, and everybody thinks, well, of course he's gone to Syria or he's hiding in Iraq. What do we find out 4 months later? He's in Brussels. He's being given soccer. He's being hidden by people in those radical communities for 4 months in the heart of Europe. That tells you everything you need to know about the failed immigration policies.
I keep speaking about what I call this cultural divide. If you come from a country and women can't drive, you tell them how to dress, they can't go to work or school without a husband's permission, gays and lesbians are killed, and, women are treated horribly. Marital rape is not a crime in some of these countries. If you come from a country like that, it's kind of hard to bridge the divide because it's the antithesis of what in our case, a democratic republic or democracy is all about. In our case, our Constitution, correct?
It is. It's the unwritten social contract. My parents were immigrants to the United Kingdom. America is full of immigrants. I grew up in an immigrant community. And what's the deal you make? You say, I'm going to come here. I'm going to profit from the safety, from the economic growth of this country. But the only way I can do that is if I buy into the cultural values of that nation, whether it's Germany, whether it's the UK or America. And the equality of the sexes, freedom of religion, freedom of expression, these are things that are not negotiable. You can't say, well, in this part of Bradford, you can't wear a miniskirt because we'll chase you out because it's un-Islamic. That is not part of the social contract.
And inevitably, I think when Donald Trump starts vetting, extreme vetting of refugees, we're going to see and hear one charge after another. This is racist. This is Islamophobic, correct? This is going to be a big battle.
The left hasn't given up. I think what we're seeing right now with the ridiculous Russia dossier and everything else is that the left-wing media, and especially the radicals, the people that have taken the Democrat Party hostage, they don't understand what happened on November the 8th. On November the 8th, the American voter decided we want common sense and we want safety. And everything that Donald Trump is going to do as president is going to be about safety, security, and economic growth, but they won't give up their narrative. Of course, the people who support the new administration will be labeled haters, you included, me included, but we know we're doing what is absolutely good for the republic.
Well, if it puts one American at risk, it's not worth it, and that's what we've got to consider first and foremost. Dr. Gorka, good to see you. We'll see you later in the week in D.C. Appreciate you being with us.